What is up, everybody? It is your boy NornRad89 here, bringing you another video. Today's a little bit of a different video. This is going to be my first kind of full-length video that I've really ever done, I think, on the channel. I think I've done it one other time, and I've done a live stream where I've talked about basketball. And you already know, if you're a fan of the channel or if you're a new subscriber, just to let you know, I am a huge fan of basketball. That's my favorite sport. And I promised myself at the beginning of the year that for this channel, I was going to do more content talking about vinyl records, basketball, even wrestling, just other topics that I really fancy. That this channel wasn't supposed to just be about movie reviews or horror movies or anything like that, that there is other stuff I enjoy and I like to talk about. So today's video will be our full length video, our first one talking about the Denver Nuggets, my favorite basketball team. And today we're going to talk about the year and whole, this previous season that we just had that we're going through right now. We have 2 games left in the season. We are in that playoff hunt, are about to get to the playoffs, hunting for another championship for the Denver Nuggets. And today I wanted to talk about their season in totality and my opinion as a fan. So let's get into this. Roll it. So just to do a little introduction right away is that I'm a huge fan of basketball. At a very young age, I got hooked into basketball. It was the only sport that I ever played professionally while I was in school during, middle school and elementary, all that kind of stuff, anything. And in high school, that was the only sport that I ever played professionally. I do watch other sports. I like football and I like hockey, but basketball is my absolute peak. It was the first one where I ever really kind of connected and met other people and friends from different walks of life. And that's what I loved about it, is you were a teammate on a team and you met, your brothers or anybody else that you were friends, or even your sisters. Because when I was younger and we were in elementary school, we had a mixed gender basketball team. So we had boys and girls on the same team. So when you meet those teammates, it's so cool to meet people from different walks of life that you would probably not normally be friends with outside of basketball, but then you meet them and you just develop this connectivity and this chemistry and you become a team. And then, like I said, it's like your brother or your sister. And that's why, a main reason why I love basketball. Another reason is I find it very entertaining. I love a lot of the elements that come with basketball in terms of the taunting, the talent, and the skill and everything, and how you have to both play offense and defense, and just the antics that go with it, but also the eras and the evolution of basketball. So there's a lot to love about this sport, and it's just been something that's been with me since a very young age. Like, I'm talking probably like 7 or 8 when I really got hooked into kind of playing it, but also watching Sports Center and just digesting basketball. That was the main way I did back in the day, because we didn't have, NBA TV and, games readily available and all this stuff and ESPN.com apps or anything. We'd have none of that. So literally my only avenue was watching Sports Center, and that's how I digested most of my basketball and, came to know what I know today. And then growing up into picking teams and stuff, at first, the Sacramento Kings was probably an early favorite when I was a kid. They had Chris Webber, Mike Bibby, Vlade Divac, and a lot of really cool cats on that squad. But as I grew up more and more and just kind of focused in on which teams I loved, I just grew a fancy for the Denver Nuggets. I gravitated towards that team. And it was one of those teams that was never always the favorite. They had no championships for a very long time until we hit the Nikola Jokic era. But it was always like, just, I don't know, something in me that loved the Nuggets, because it was that try hard, true, NBA team that always didn't have the greatest stars on it, but they were always like trying really hard and they were always in the mix, and just, coming up short over and over and over. So maybe that's one thing too, is it was usually the Denver Nuggets were always the underdog going into most of their series. So maybe that's another reason why I fancy the team as well. But now, like I said, today we're talking about the 2025-2026 season as a whole in totality. And this has been a kind of up and down road, a mixed season, because going into the season, everybody at Las Vegas, all the people I follow on Sports Center or even YouTube, the people that are sports analysts that talk about sports, they had the Nuggets as the second contender. Most people had them at number 2 or number 3 as the, top dogs, contenders to challenge OKC Thunder. And then the season started, and we had a fantastic start to the season. Nikola Jokic looked like he was playing the greatest basketball of his life. Jamal Murray easily was playing some of the best basketball he's ever played. And then we hit the injury bug, and the injuries just took a toll over and over and over. We lost Aaron Gordon. We had Christian Brown went down for a while, Peyton Watson. Just about almost every member of this crew has been hurt in some form or fashion throughout the season, except for Jamal Murray. He's been our Iron Man. He's been there playing, and I think he's been like 73 games. He's played almost every game this season. So Jamal Murray is an absolute stud, and he's playing some of the best basketball of his career. And that's what I love is being a Nuggets fan. It's kind of fascinating to think about it when you like really contemplate it and sit in your mind and think about it, is that we're currently living in an era of basketball where we're watching probably the number one and number two greatest players that have ever played for our team play together in the same era. And that's not to knock, Dikembe Mutombo or Alex English or Carmelo Anthony and like so many others that have come before these guys. But Jokic and Murray are just setting the standard over and over, breaking records, and just convincing us as fans and the NBA community as a whole that this is probably one of the greatest duos that's ever touched a court. And they're two of the greatest Nuggets of all time. And that's why it's just so fascinating to be a Denver Nuggets fan at this time. We did get a championship in the 2023 season. We were champions then, and it's been a while now. And I think we deserve another ring, and we need to climb up there, and they need to put their foot down, and the team needs to realize that this is the time. We have, like I said, Nikola Jokic right now, basically averaging 28 points per game. He's at 27.9 points per game. He's averaging 13 rebounds per game and 10.9 assists. And this will be his second year in a row averaging a triple double. So Nikola Jokic is easily one of those players. I often tell people when I talk to them, like, because I'm a huge NBA fan, or when I'm talking to other NBA fans, or just talking to my family in general, or talking to my son, because he's getting really into basketball now, is that Nikola Jokic is one of those players that he does things I've almost never seen any other player do except for Michael Jordan. And that's why I hold him to a huge, huge standard, is because Nikola Jokic has been one of those players. I've watched just about every dribble of basketball he's played since he's come into the NBA, and he leaves me astonished. And there's so many times where I'm just baffled by the talent and watching it. And like I said, the only other time I've really felt that way was watching Michael Jordan. So Nikola Jokic is a very special player, and he's shooting 57% from the field this year. So that's fantastic. So, and we're sitting at a 52-28 record and currently have a 10-game win streak. So there's a lot of pluses and a lot of positives. But like I said, it's been kind of an up and down road, because we did go through a very rough December, January, and February, where we just had so many different rotations. And David Adelman, our head coach, and the other assistant coaches had to kind of figure out like who we were going to plug in and play, what are we going to do. We're hiring people on two-way contracts, and we're kind of digging into the depths of like what kind of talent are we going to find, which led us to people like Spencer Jones, who has been one of the best players this year and a great additive to the team as well. And like I said, another thing is the emergence of Jamal Murray. And the fact is that we know, because Jamal Murray is hitting career highs in just about every category that there is right now. He has 25.5 points per game, which is his career high, 4.4 rebounds, and 7.2 assists. He is doing very good this year at distributing the ball and creating offense for other people, and also shooting 48% from the field. So Jamal Murray is having an all-star, all-NBA year, and he actually did get selected for the all-star team this year. So I'm very happy that he deserved it. It's been long overdue for me in terms of my opinion, because Jamal Murray's been one of the greatest point guards, I think, over the last 5 years, in my opinion. He's just so good. It's just a lot of times he did hit injuries and he was taken out for a few years. You know what I mean? Like there's two muddled years in there where it's just injury prone, but now he knows what he needs and knows what he's doing. And Jamal Murray, like I said, is setting the standard in terms of Denver Nuggets point guard play, and actually broke the record this year for most three-pointers by a Denver Nugget in a single season. So Like I said, huge positives. This isn't the end of the year, though. We still do have 2 more games. We have the OKC Thunder tonight. I'm currently recording this video. It is Friday. Tonight at 7 p.m. my time, Mountain Standard Time, we're going to be playing the OKC Thunder. And then we have the Spurs, I believe, on Sunday. And that's the very last game of the season. And then we come into the playoffs. And right now, the Denver Nuggets are sitting currently at the number 3 seed, which is really good. That's home court advantage. And currently, right now, it's looking like we're probably going to get matched up against Minnesota in the first round. So, a lot of positives and a lot of things to love. And in terms of my expectations and my hope for the playoffs is that I think the Denver Nuggets can make really good noise. Typically, the play and the games that are going on in March don't necessarily correlate to the playoffs in terms of how good people are playing in the regular season. But I think what's good right now is that the Denver Nuggets, it's taken a long time for us to create chemistry and create connectivity because of so many different lineups we've had all year. And finally, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Murray, freaking all of them. Watson is back too as well. Are like, all those things, they're kind of coming together and they're actually creating chemistry and playing well together. So that's what I really love. Another cool star factor of this year is Tim Hardaway Jr. He's been an absolute stud and one of my favorite first 6 man of the year because Tim Hardaway Jr. off the bench has definitely saved our butts multiple times this year. So the Denver Nuggets definitely appreciate him. And I feel like in the postseason, Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to kind of save us and probably win us some games because of his shot making talent. So I'm very excited for this postseason. I think these Denver Nuggets, when they're playing at the top of their game, when Jokic is balling and Murray is balling and they're just flowing and Aaron Gordon is doing his thing where he's commanding the defense and just being that connective tissue where he's doing a little bit of everything, like this team is virtually unstoppable and we can beat anybody in the NBA. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, for me, this is my first time. I know I might have been a little bit nervous, but this is my first full-length video by myself kind of digesting and talking about basketball and talking about my love for the Denver Nuggets and my excitement for the postseason. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe. That definitely appreciate it. It's going to greatly help out these kind of videos as well because these are different from the videos that I typically upload on the channel. But I'm not going to be one of those people that creates a second channel. Trust me, I got just 3 kids, my niece and nephew here all the time. I got my wife, I got my job that I work 50 plus hours a week, so it's just like, I'm not going to create a second channel. Anything that comes up in my mind in terms of vinyls, wrestling, basketball, be it horror movies or, physical media content, it's going to be here on the Norrin Rad 89 channel. That's where you're going to get it. But most importantly, y'all know what's up. Have a safe and happy day. Peace out.